you know?
Interesting that you lead with a value around change in an industry where I can go to any firehouse in the country and start with 50 years, 100 years, 200 years of tradition unimpeded by progress.
Yeah, I mean that's the fire service. You know, I don't want to chase too big of a rabbit here, but you know, one of the conversations we're having, or I'm going to have at the end of the month, with another group of technology folks and investors and whatnot, is I think the fire service right now, culturally, largely because you know we don't accept change readily. We're not early adopters, most of us, most of the fire service, is for many years, especially in the wildfire place, we said, man, when's it going to be great? Someday helicopters are going to be autonomous. You know, we're going to have blackout. We're going to do all this. And it was really cool. Well, guess what? That day's here. It's here now. And guess what? We're not ready for that yet. That's too much. When I was recently at a conference and I shared with the audience, how would you feel if you're getting ready to fly back home or wherever you're going after this, and the door shuts in the airplane, and the flight attendant comes on and go, look, Pilot Smith was ill right before the flight, but don't worry. This aircraft is fully designed and built to fly autonomously. We'll take you to your destination. You know, no pilot. How many of you are staying on that airplane? Of course, everybody laughs, and probably nobody's staying on that airplane. But that technology exists today.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're falling behind. We need to culturally catch up and be more acceptance that we're here. I mean, we're a lot going on, obviously, with AI, machine learning, and everything else. Technology's outpaced us in terms of our, I think, acceptance of what's there. So we need to catch up. We've fallen behind, and I think to a detriment. We haven't been willing to stick our toe in, and I think the larger agencies that you have more available to you, but there's even more resistance. Um, so change has always been one. The other two really are learning. You know, I'm a voracious learner, and some of that goes back to curiosity, and then continued improvement. You know, how can we keep tweaking this thing? You know, making it just a little bit better. But it all fits, right? Because your curiosity kind of leads you to that continued improvement. We're always asking staff, well, how can we do that better? What, you know, well, what do you think? They usually have an idea or the answers, right? They're just trying
Right.
to get you there. It's like, let's cut to the quick. How do you see this? And then just the triage piece of it is like, well, what's the harm in trying? Is anybody going to get hurt? Is anybody going to get killed? Is anybody going to go to jail? Is anybody going to get sued? You start working your way down, and you know, if the risk, you know, is just sticking to going back to what you used to do, well, heck, let's take the risk. So I'm way out on that risk continuum. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I've worked for people. My last boss in San Diego, he was very risk averse. Good guy, brilliant guy, but I think together we helped each other. I would pull him back away from that, and he would pull me away from walking off that cliff because I'm so, you know, leaning into risk like we do. And I don't mean like risk the firefighter
Right.
life, but I mean risk in taking chances and doing new things. And sometimes, most of the time, it works out pretty good, and sometimes you got to go, well, you know, maybe this wasn't the place to be for the
Right.
first time. But
Right.
I don't know. I think that's what I loved about the job most, even as a fire chief, because it does allow you, you know, to engage with not only people like yourself, but individuals like we were talking about before the interview started. Um, you know, they're fascinated by what we do. I'm fascinated more by what they do.